Hello, and welcome back to Drive and Leadership Lane, the channel where we give you the actionable roadmaps for leadership success. Today, we are tackling one of the most brutal, high-stakes challenges in any career, stepping into a new public sector role. Whether you're a new city manager, an agency head, a key political appointee, or business leader, the clock is ticking. You don't get a grace period. Fail to secure trust and momentum in the first 90 days, and your entire tenure is at risk. That's why we're breaking down Michael Watkins' essential playbook, The First 90 Days in Government. This book isn't theory. It's a survival guide for navigating bureaucracy, politics, and public scrutiny. In the next 15 minutes, we're driving through the three critical phases you must master to accelerate your impact. First, the diagnosis phase, days 1 to 30. This is where you pause the politics, assess the ground truth, and correctly identify whether you're leading a turnaround or sustaining effort. Next, the alignment phase, days 31 to 60, how to negotiate your success with your boss, secure those vital early wins, and align your entire team to your vision. Finally, the acceleration phase, days 61 to 90, this is where you secure your legacy by building lasting alliances and making sure your team and you are balanced and sustainable. If you're serious about making a real impact in public service, stick with us. Let's get to work. Chapter 1. The diagnosis phase, days 1 to 30. The goal of the first 30 days is diagnosis. You must stop the political bleeding, build a deep understanding of the landscape, and clarify your mandate before you act. Action 1. Prepare yourself for the transition. Before you even step into the new office, you must manage the transition in your head. Public sector roles are notorious for successor traps, like trying to implement private sector speed in a consensus-driven environment or relying too much on the previous leader's team. You must engage in rigorous self-assessment. What are your leadership blind spots in this specific environment? What are the political skills you lack? Cross-sector value. Example, a new CEO or division head must similarly avoid predecessor traps. If you're replacing a visionary founder, avoid trying to replicate their charisma. Focus on process. If you're replacing a cost cutter, avoid immediately overinvesting. Interest to business leaders. Understanding your own biases and assessing the political landscape, not just the market, is crucial for navigating internal corporate politics and stakeholder factions. Action 2. Accelerate your learning. In government, learning is about mapping systems, culture, and political influence. You must conduct a listening tour not just to be seen, but to diagnose the organizational culture, the effectiveness of operational delivery, and the history behind current policies. The goal is to move from outsider to informed insider as quickly as possible. Government. Example, a new Secretary of Transportation spends their first 3 weeks in intensive meetings with legislative committee staff, state highway officials, and transit union leaders to map the complex funding mandates and non-obvious political conflicts before proposing any new initiative. Cross-sector value. Example, this translates to mapping the value chain and influence network. In a new company, a new leader must understand where the real power lies. Is it in sales, engineering, or finance? And who controls the informal information channels? Action 3. Match strategy to the situation. You cannot apply a one-size-fits-all strategy. Watkins uses the STARS model to help leaders correctly diagnose the organization's state. Startup, launching a new agency or program, e.g., a new federal office to manage cybersecurity. Turnaround, fixing a struggling, high-profile department, e.g., an outdated, failing IT service division. Realignment or alignment, shifting a functioning organization to a new mandate, e.g., moving a public health agency to focus on pandemic preparedness. Sustaining success, protecting and growing a healthy organization, e.g., maintaining an award-winning National Park Service. Cross-sector value. Example, a leader joining a struggling product line, turnaround, needs cost control and aggressive action. A leader joining a cash cow division, sustaining, needs incremental innovation and protection of the core business. Interest to business leaders. Using the STARS model provides a robust, common language for strategic planning, ensuring everyone on your team understands the specific challenge they are tackling. Chapter 2. The alignment phase, days 31 to 60. The second 30 days are focused on alignment. You need to build your political capital, secure proof of concept, and ensure the entire organization is pointed in the same strategic direction. Action 4. Secure early wins. In government, early wins are your currency for political capital. These wins must be visible, measurable, and relevant to the public or your political superiors. They build credibility and silence early critics. The win doesn't have to be massive. It just has to demonstrate competence and momentum. Government. Example. A new city manager quickly streamlines the historically bureaucratic process for issuing small business licenses from 3 weeks down to 3 days. This is a visible win that demonstrates immediate benefit to the local economy and citizens. Cross-sector value. Example. This is equivalent to achieving quick hits, initiatives that deliver 20% of the value for 5% of the effort. These could be resolving a long-standing customer service issue or launching a high-demand feature beta. Action 5. Negotiate success with stakeholders. Success in the public sector is negotiated. You must manage up by proactively aligning expectations with the political leader who hired you, as well as managing crucial external groups like legislative bodies and advocacy groups. This negotiation creates your mandate. What specific problems are you expected to solve, and by when? Cross-sector value. Example. This is the process of setting your success contract with your direct boss and the board. Failure to negotiate success means you may execute your plan perfectly, only to find you were solving the wrong problem in the eyes of the people who matter most. Interest to business leaders. Learning to negotiate success prevents the fatal mistake of achieving success, e.g., high internal metrics, while failing the ultimate political metric, e.g., pleasing the CEO or the board. Action 6. Achieve organizational alignment. Once your strategic situation is clear, stars, and your mandate is set, negotiation. You must align the organization's vision, strategy, structure, systems, and culture to deliver on it. Misalignment, where your structure rewards behavior that contradicts your vision, is a recipe for inertia. Government. Example. A department leader sets a vision of being the most digitally advanced public service provider. They must then change the structure, breaking down IT silos, adjust the systems, implementing agile budgeting, and shift the culture to reward speed and collaboration over bureaucratic rules. Cross-sector value. Example. This is where M&A integrations fail. If the strategic vision is innovation, but the compensation systems reward risk aversion, you have failed alignment. The transition leader must be the chief architect of coherence. Chapter 3. The acceleration phase, days 61 to 90. The final phase is acceleration. The focus shifts from stabilizing you to institutionalizing change and ensuring long-term, sustainable performance for the entire organization. Action 7. Build and align your team. Team assessment is paramount. You must apply a triage to your senior staff, classifying them into 3 groups: keep, coach, or change. This must be done fairly and based on capability and fit with a new strategy. In government, personnel decisions are often slowed by union rules and political sensitivities, demanding swift, evidence-based decisions early on. Government. Example. A new director identifies 3 key senior managers. 1 is clearly aligned with the new vision, keep. 1 lacks necessary new skills, but is loyal, coach. The 3rd is actively resistant to change and undermining the strategy, change. Cross-sector value. Example. A new leader should aim to make a few key leadership decisions, both replacements and promotions, before the 90-day mark. This establishes authority and signals the new standards of performance and behavior. Action 8. Create alliances and build a coalition. A government leader's power is often highly diffuse, requiring influence across boundaries. You must build a strong coalition of support, extending beyond your direct reports to include legislative leaders, media, key community groups, and rival agencies. Cross-sector value. Example. This is about cross-boundary leadership. If you lead a new product, your success depends on alliances with the head of manufacturing, the head of legal, and the head of marketing, all people who don't report to you. The playbook for building these coalitions is identical in both sectors. Understand their interests and offer reciprocal value. Action 9. Keep your balance. The demands of public office are overwhelming, often leading to burnout, poor judgment, and failure. This step is about personal sustainability. You must deliberately manage your energy, your physical health, and your personal life. Strategic downtime is necessary to maintain perspective. Cross-sector value. Example. In today's always-on corporate environment, this is perhaps the most critical universal lesson. Leaders who fail to protect their boundaries and strategic thinking time quickly transition from high-performing to burned out and ineffective. Interest to business leaders. Watkins emphasizes that managing yourself is a core leadership task, not a personal luxury. Action 10. Accelerate everyone else. Your final legacy is not just your own transition, but your ability to institutionalize the transition process. You must cascade the framework to your direct reports, ensuring that they, in turn, are effective transition managers for their own teams. Cross-sector value. Example. This is the ultimate test of leadership, creating a culture of rapid integration. The leader must mandate that all incoming managers use the first 90 days framework, thus making effective transition management a core organizational competency rather than a rare skill. Closing thoughts. The first 90 days in government is not just a book for public servants. It's the definitive playbook for any leader who accepts a high-stakes, high-pressure role in a complex organization. Whether you're running a federal agency or a multinational division, mastering diagnosis, alignment, and acceleration in your first 3 months is the non-negotiable path to impact. Thank you for tuning in to Drive in Leadership Lane. If this roadmap has given you the confidence for your next big move, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep driving change and leading with purpose.